down to business, man. Let's talk MMA, man. What do y'all got to tell me about what's going on in MMA this weekend, man, or in the future? Talk to me.
Well,
this past weekend was a good weekend for MMA. Like I went if you betted this weekend on the people that you thought were gonna win, like the dogs, the Brazilians really came out. Brazilians shut it down this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'll give it up. Even the main event, the Brazilian won.
Yep.
And shout out to RDA, but you know he's a little old in the tooth. He's fought everybody there is to fight as far as the top level stuff. When you saw Vicente Luque dismantle him, you know what I'm saying, and took his tools away from him. It was nice to see a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy do it. I wonder if he can do that to a wrestler though, a true wrestler. You know, because a true wrestler is gonna it's gonna be a different fight when it comes to jiu-jitsu. You know, it's always been like one of the crazy wars. Wrestling is a real big key and factor into your game. You know what I'm saying? If you can wrestle, look at the Matt Hughes, look at the Chael Sonnens. Look how far the wrestling DC. Look how far the wrestling's taking them.
Exactly.
You know? So look at the Khabib.
Yeah.
You know, like wrestling can take you far.
Yep.
No, you can see in that fight because I watched it too. I was flipping back and forth between like all the other stuff that was going on Saturday. But
busy weekend, but
you can see what Luke was trying to do. I felt personally like he should have thrown more punches. You know, because I just like to see that. I like to see them let it fly. But you know, he's not stupid. You know, how many takedowns did he get? Well, RDA down and tiring the shit out of that. You know, he's a little bit older. You tiring the shit out of him when you're on that ground and pound. Like, you know, obviously, you know. And when I saw,
you know what UFC is, you got to think ahead. Like as a fighter, you know, you have to get cleared for your next fight. If you sitting there and banging with somebody that if they hit you, it's gonna bang you. You know. Certain fighters get paid $330,000 per fight, right? And they could go ahead and afford 3 fights a year. Certain fighters don't. So if I know my game is better than your game, and I ain't gotta go there to bang with you, right? If I ain't gotta go there to bang with you,
you're gonna take a step back.
You know, that'd be the strategic way to win a fight.
Yes, sir.
Why go ahead and get in a firefight with you if I know that all I got to do is leg trip you, throw you on the floor, and just elbow you in the face for the next fuck these people. I don't give a fuck about the crowd. I got a W, and I could fight in 2 months. Look, Cowboy Cerrone. Cerrone has a historic run of 9 fights in a row. And the fact is that the dude did it within 3 or 4 months. He kept answering that call. Yo, you want another one? You want another one? You want another one? Fight is fight. You know, fight is fight, especially the hungry ones. Vicente Luque. Unfortunately, he's in that class right now where everybody, you got the Gagey there, you got the Poirier there, you got everybody, you got Makhachev with the title, you got everybody at 155 slathering like this at the mouth. You don't fit nowhere because nobody wants to see Vicente Luque fight because of what he just did last night. You grab balls, you sniff crotches, and you get W's, you know, but nobody really want to see that. Quest just said it. They want to see you bang, you know, Quest said it. I want to see you bang.
Facts.
Oh man, you're right. As much as I love a good wrestling match or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, sometimes I don't want to see that all the time either. I want to see 2 dudes get in there and scrap. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? They have leagues for that. They have leagues for jiu-jitsu. They have leagues for all that stuff. And to be honest, it's like I said, I'm not knocking any of these niggas because you see one of these niggas in the street with the cauliflower. That's the fight you don't pick, right?
Have a nice day, beloved.
You're in the UFC.
I'm crossing the street.
Yeah, word.
The UFC for the UFC, what you must do is highlight the crowd. You know, the crowd wants to see. Yo, they came here for a 5-round main event, and you sniffed balls for 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna make people want to make you see fight Gagey.
Exactly.
Poirier. Nobody's gonna want to see those fights now.
Yep.
What you gonna do?
That's why I said I felt like he needed to throw more hands. Like he doesn't need to knock. He doesn't need to knock. He doesn't need to knock.
He threw more strikes.
RDA was hurting him.
I know.
The 5th round. Fifth round, like RDA was hurting him.
See, but that's what I think like that. That's why I said I wish I would have seen this, or at least he's moving in the right way. Because I feel like in MMA, UFC, you need both. You got to be a good wrestler, and you got to be able to throw those hands because
strikers aren't as
Well,
you know, if you go up with it just as good as a wrestler than you, at the end of the day, we're gonna have to figure out who could throw the hands better.
Well, you know, you got to think.
Unless you get
unexpected. No, but you could be something that's unexpected. Anderson Silva came into the UFC and they didn't know what the fuck this was. It was like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. All right, we know.
His first fight against Chris Laban?
Bro, it was Chris Lieben, right? Yo, he dismantled people. They didn't even get an opportunity to take him down. He was called the Spider. He had such a wide fucking stance, and he'd kick you from every direction. And then he would do this thing where he would offer you in to come fight him and punch him in the face.
And bob and weave you.
Bob and weave you
to death.
And you see, you could also be something unexpected. It's that the game has evolved so much. There's not anything that one person hasn't seen. And the GOATs in the game right now, they've seen everything.
Yes.
This weekend was good. But while we have time, I don't know if you guys are aware, but UFC 292 is next weekend.
Yes, sir. On the 19th.
We got hella time. Go ahead. Do you?
Yeah.
So UFC 292 next weekend. Do you know all the names on the card, Ed?
I know mostly like the guys are gonna fight like the last couple of fights, like the main event and stuff like that.
We talking about next week?
Yeah.
Next week is 292. Next week is the big
all
UFC.
I'm hearing is O'Malley. That's all I'm hearing. That's the height. That's the big dude on the card, right?
O'Malley's not even a champion. He's challenging.
He's 16-1, right? He's 16-1, and the one fight that he lost, his leg gave out.
Yeah.
You're talking about O'Malley.
Yeah.
O'Malley.
Now, the last fight that he won, I was just watching it before y'all signed me, and I was just going over the fights myself, and I saw.
I'm looking at it now too.
With wrestlers, he has a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's a skinny, not muscular dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has a problem with wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Aljamain Sterling just beat a gold medalist in wrestling in Henry Cejudo.
Yep.
That's what they said.
Yep.
So what like I love the guy in O'Malley, and if we saw anything from Conor McGregor, you never knock it. You always have a puncher's chance.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a puncher's chance.
Mm-hmm.
You can never take that away from a guy that got great, awesome skills and movement. But if Aljamain Sterling puts him on the ground, I think there's too much weight and muscle. Like Aljamain Sterling cuts so much weight at the weigh-ins. I don't even like watching his weigh-ins. I feel like I'm watching an anorexic nigga. Like he's about to collapse.
Yeah.
Yo, for real. He takes so much weight off. He's on the scale. He looks like 50 Cent in that cancer movie he did.
Yeah.
He looks horrible when he comes off the scale.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't like watching that. But, I kind of think that's bullying. I kind of think that's cheating, my nigga. Like, if you naturally weigh 160 pounds, right?
Right.
And you cut down to 135 pounds to fight, right? Just to retain all the muscle. But you deplete all the liquids in your body. That's like cheating.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, in my opinion, that's like bullying. That's like you should be fighting in an upper weight class, but I'm gonna pick on these niggas that are naturally this weight class.
You're right.
So why do you say that? Do you say that? My bad. But
no. Go ahead. Do you think?
G, do you say that only because like these fighters,
we need more weight classes.
No, but do you say that because these fighters can't either like just fight in that weight class or just because they can't maintain their weight and get their strength to fight in that class?
Why do I think weight cutting is bad? I think weight cutting is really bad because of the way it depletes the body. Mm-hmm. It's not a natural. It's not like fasting. With fasting, it's a certain amount of hours through the day. With weight cutting, it's pure torture. Like it's torture on your body. You're depleting all your body of hydration and not naturally.
Right.
Weight cutting is a forcing it.
It's water weight.
It's water weight.
Not fat.
So all you do is keep pressure on you. It's really unhealthy for your organs. Unhealthy. Look, you know what you have to do? Think about this. They fight on Saturday night. Friday night they do the weigh-ins. So at Friday night he goes down to 135.
Yeah.
Saturday night he goes to fight. He bulks back up.
They rehydrate.
You rehydrate and bulk back up to what? His 160.
And that's what I was gonna say. they don't have like a rehydration clause. Like sometimes boxers be doing that shit.
It's very rare boxers do that. But
I seen in weigh-ins. I seen weigh-ins for the UFC that they come in weighing a certain like, you know, when they facing the fighters, or when they putting the fighters together, they'll come in like, you know, overweight, and they'll make them go to the back and make them.
I see dudes passing out before.
Exactly.
Can't even step on the scale.
Yo, right on the scale.
Yeah.
Pass out. Yep.
I just did it. I just cut 30 pounds like in the last 4 months. You guys know that shit, and that shit is torture, bro. You're physically not at your peak when you do that.
So G, this dude is fighting all these people, and they're naturally like one. That's their weight.
Yo,
like they would make that shit even without a sweat.
Yes, Henry. All right, let me put the ratio on to you. Henry Cejudo and him fighting. Henry Cejudo was the ex-champion, gave up his belt, retired, and came back to fight him off of retirement. Let me explain something. Let me explain something to you. Henry Cejudo is like your height fighting John.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the fight looked like against Aljamain Sterling. Your height fighting John, but you guys are the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But Aljamain Sterling is muscular.
Mm-hmm.
He got a
fuck around. I'm probably heavier than Cash. Probably heavier than Cash right now.
The way he tossed around Henry Cejudo, there is no chance for Aljamain Sterling to survive on the ground. And unless Aljamain Sterling pulls his Brazilian jiu-jitsu out and throws up a fucking triangle and threatens him all night. You got to threaten all night. When you threaten somebody that something can happen, they think twice about doing it. When you hit somebody really hard in the face, like, oh, I don't want to go on that side again, right? So it's the same thing with when you got somebody on top of you, pause, and this guy's trying to fucking put your lights out. And once you threaten his arm, an arm bar, a neck, a choke, he thinks twice about being in that position. And I think Aljamain has to go ahead. In the beginning of the fight, they're not sweating. So if Aljamain Sterling just starts ragtagging him from the beginning with O'Malley, it's gonna be a long, sad night. And I don't want to see that. I hope O'Malley stands on his feet. Because like I said, I've been watching his fights and he got hands. He knocks people the fuck out. He's 16-1 for a reason. And that one his leg gave out. You know what I mean? You really think about it. But Aljamain Sterling is dismantling everybody because he figured out his super move.
Yes.
I'm bigger than these guys. I'm stronger than these guys. And I can wrestle all of these guys. I'm just going to drag you to the floor, and I'm going to keep you there. And I'm going to get you tired.
Yes.
Because right now, I weigh 160. And no matter what you could do, you probably don't weigh that.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of people said that Sean O'Malley didn't deserve this title fight. A lot of people did, and a lot of people didn't. You know, and I was one of those people that I'm stuck in the middle. I like Sean, but I feel like
you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. You get not only fighting well, he got a 16-1 record. You deserve a championship fight, but not only fighting well. This is not fucking this. You know, this is not a soap opera. This is not WWE. You know, this is real fights where fans and real people believe in you, and you give them hope and you give them faith. For him to have the following that he has, he got a daughter. He's always teaching some shit on his Instagram and YouTube on how to fight. Somebody coming at you, and there's 3 people. Second thing you do is run, but the first thing you do is pow, 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 pow. You know what I mean? He's always being that type of person. He's not an arrogant. He's not a piece of shit type of person. He's not the heel. He's not the heel. So for a person like this to get a title shot, it's absolutely necessary because for the niggas like me that don't believe he could win, it shut me the fuck up. You know,
you picking Sterling? You picking Sterling?
I know Sterling's gonna win. I'm picking O'Malley though.
Yeah,
I'm picking O'Malley. No, I'm picking O'Malley.
I'm the same way. I'm on the same boat as you. I love Sean.
I'm gambling on O'Malley though.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw money on O'Malley though.
I'm in the same boat as
O'Malley. Who's the favorite? What are the odds? You guys know the odds or not?
I'll find it right now.
I got it right here. It's Sterling 260 minus 265. Sean plus 215.
Okay.
So you put 100. You put 100 on. You put 100 on Sean. You get 215 back. You put 265. You only get 100 from Sterling.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bet on Sean too.
Yeah. And I love Sean.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you with those odds? Even if you put 10, you come off. Why wouldn't you with those odds?
And, you know, and Sean is the number 2 bantamweight. He's, you know, so he's well deserved for this fight. You know
what you're trying to say? I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
He's not skilled enough for this fight. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about but I've been watching UFC so long, and there's a lot of people that shouldn't be in the ring with a lot of people, and that's when the best comes out of people. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wearing the Dragon
fight up to your competition, no doubt.
I'm wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt.
Yeah.
There you go. What does Goku do every time?
Oh man,
he pulls the card out, right? UFC fighters, they pull the ace. They pull the ace out sometimes. You're like, oh.
G, I know you're a big UFC fan like me. You remember when what was his name? Matt Sierra fought GSP? Nobody gave Matt Sierra a chance, and what he did?
Yeah, Matt Sierra knocked him the fuck out.
Knocked him the fuck out, yo. Knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, so it's like what happened the second fight, right?
Oh yeah, of course. GSP came out and said, "Nah, dude, it's your time to go to sleep."
Listen, you as long as you get one in life, just be happy with it.
Yeah, word.
You got Zhang Wei Li. Wei Li Zhang, my bad, versus Amanda Lemos. I don't think Amanda Lemos got anything for her.
Yeah, there's no odds on that either. So you remember when Jing Lee nodded Joanna? Ooh,
yeah, that head nod, right? Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, would you date it? Would you date a chick that's a UFC fighter?
Me? I probably would.
Hell no.
I would.
But what if she did that though? Legit, one night I was arguing and she was like, "You really want these hands?" Like, what if she said that to you?
What do you do in that position? Because if you bust her shit, you going to jail, right? But if she busts your shit, you look like a bitch.
That's what I'm saying, yo. I'm not doing that shit because I know I fuck around and I want to get into argument, raise my voice.
I'll wrestle her down like an alligator, and I'll wrestle her down like an alligator.
Until she puts you down in the armbar and break your shit. And then when the cops come, he hit me first.
Yo, she hit me. She hit me
like this.
Yo, you know who I'm excited? You know how I'm excited in this call now that I said.
That's when you gotta deprive him of the D. That's how you. That's how
I know. You saw Marlon Vera, right?
No, not even Marlon Vera. Chris Weidman, bro.
Where do you see him? He's on the card.
He's fighting. Yeah, he's fighting Brad Tavares.
On the prelims?
Yeah, no, he's
on the prelims. Nah, he's the main event on the prelims. Yeah.
Oh, he's the main event in the prelim. But I'm excited to see him back after the last group. After he broke his leg.
Yo, son, you retired, son. Keep your name and retire, bro. What the fuck is wrong with these niggas? Yo, he broke his leg, son. He threw a kick at somebody's ankle, and his leg just said, "Option failed." And it cracked in half, bro. And you know what's crazy? Karma, because he did that to Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva kicked him and cracked his leg.
And he was the one that figured that Anderson Silva bob and weave shit. He timed it. You remember that fight? He timed it perfect.
Oh, wait. That's what I was about to bring up. Yeah, the same dude that did that to Anderson Silva. And his shit just got broke, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was nasty, too.
Yeah.
Bro. That shit was right at the shin, man. I hate looking at stuff like that.
Oof.
I mean, you know what? I can't say I hate it. Like, part of me, I just had this conversation the other day. Part of me wishes that steroids was allowed in sports. I wish, not all sports, not every sport, but I wish there was like you know how you got like, let's say you got Mercedes and Lexus back in the day. They'd be like, a hood nigga drive a Lexus because the Mercedes is a little bit too more expensive. Like with fighting. They used to have Pride, and they would allow the fighting league Pride would allow steroids and everything in it. They would allow you to do anything, and you would see the specimens that would be in these fucking fights, and it was fucking amazing. And I thought about it, like, imagine baseball. Remember when we had Mark McGwire and we had Sosa, and they were chasing the ring? And remember when Alex Rodriguez was hitting the ball millions of? You remember like
King Caminiti?
Like,
those guys.
The excitement was crazy, no doubt.
And that's my thing with like steroids. Like I'm not saying be a roid head. I think there should be places and facilities where we could do them, like with doctors watching us and how to do them. But we should be able to reach our human peak ability. Imagine these fighters looking like fucking 290 pounds.
Rip. You 4% body fat. You know what I mean? Just looking like monsters.
My man, you mentioned Pride. You remember Don Fry? How big was Don Fry in Pride?
That mustache was crazy.
Exactly, his mustache had muscles.
Don Fry had a fight. Don Fry had a fight. Him and the dude the first 45 seconds of the fight, they both have each other's hands in the back of each other's head, and like a movie, bro.
Yeah, just
it's so, and you're like, this is really happening right now. Like,
and I was in Japan, so in Japan there's no rules, there's no hold bars.
A lot of those fights got thrown, right?
Yeah. You're right.
There was a lot of gambling with the Yakuza and all that shit back then.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like, but if you think about it, you can't have all those brolic motherfuckers on the fucking floor wrestling and shit. At that point, everybody's just gonna be punching each other. Like at that point, like you already heard Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger already admitted in his documentary. Arnold Schwarzenegger knew all the bodybuilders. All the bodybuilders was using steroids back then, which is crazy because you would think for a bodybuilder tournament there would be no steroids allowed, right?
True that.
You know what I mean? But Arnold Schwarzenegger admitted in his documentary they were all on steroids. They knew the cycles. They were taking it with doctors. They knew when to be on, be off.
There's a reason. Look, there's a reason. Like, like I seen Oppenheimer. Like we us as human beings, we got these brains and we invent shit. And the human body is a specimen at the end of the day. There's people that do things with amputees. There's people that do. Why the fuck not? I can't go ahead and take a fucking injection in my dick to make it big. Nigga, it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's my point. There's shit there to enhance a body. If I could take a pill to make me smarter, why wouldn't I take a pill to make me smart? There's shit there to enhance the body. We shouldn't be regulated in sports, especially, right? We want to see our athletes.
But then you have to have everybody do it because then it gives people an unfair advantage if not everyone's on the same page.
And not only that is the insurance policy. Because if you're that one person that because you're on that specific drug and all of a sudden you become that person that happens to die while being on it in the middle of a fight, now who's held accountable?
True.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of that's the whole point of this.
But I'm gonna tell you something about that. I forgot what they're called. I think they're like there's some type of care centers where you legitimately like there's people that do fucking ecstasy in these places where they watch over you. It's regulated. It's taken care of. I'm not talking about going home and shooting 7 needles in your ass cheek. You know what I mean? I'm talking about you going to places that look over you and do it right with you. And half of the time, like I hear Cheryl talk about it. He was like, that roid rage, that your nuts shrinking, all that shit is
or your head getting
growing. All that shit is people
that Barry Bonds head. Pause.
Yeah, Barry Bonds. Look at Peyton Manning. His head grew. He was on that shit too. Peyton Manning, his head grew.
He got a chalkboard on his face.
Yeah. Yo, those centers that G's talking about, they used to do that. They used to do that back in the 60s with LSD. They used to let you take the LSD and examine you, just to see how the high worked for everybody, how it mess with the brain.
I wish they had those centers back. I'll be there in a second. I'll be like, yo, go ahead, examine me. Give me everything.
Give me that acid.
Let's see what you got.
They say The Rock allegedly is on roids, but he has it he has doctors and all these specialists monitoring him. Yeah,
and
he has it under control situation.
Yeah, but he also goes down to Mexico once a month to eat a kid. Don't be fooled. You know how people do eggs? He goes. You know how people eat like raw eggs? He goes down to Mexico once a month and eats a whole kid.
Now
allegedly.
The thing is,
allegedly
going through that wrestling lane.
She gonna get a shadow man in week 10.
Nah, but he's not lying though. He's not lying on some shit.
Don't double down. Don't double down.
All right.
You got Ian Gary versus Neil Magny on the card.
Yeah.
Neil Magny, I think he got the most wins in UFC history or something like that. The most fights. I think he got the most fights right now in UFC history.
What is he, 28-11? I'm looking at his record. Is that what his record is?
And that's why people were clowning him because people were like, he
has the most fight. I thought RDA did. I thought RDA was here for 25 years, something like that.
I think in that division. 170. In that division, 170. Yeah.
Welterweight. Yeah.
If he loses this fight, though, he's on his way out because the last fight he lost to was Gilbert Burns. You know what I mean? So if he loses this fight, I think he'd be on. And Ian Gary is 12-0. Look at that record.
What's Ian Gary? We'll talk about him. What's the deal with him? Is he nice with his shit?
Well, to be 12-0, I think you got to be nice for your shit. But honestly, I don't know much about Ian Gary.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I like about UFC records? They take them from where you are.
Yeah.
So if your amateur record was 12-0, they'll take you up. You know what I'm saying? And you keep your record.
I didn't know that.
I'm
the casual on the panel. I'm the casual fan, so y'all educate me.
I know.
It's different than boxing because boxing, when you're amateur, that's a totally different record from the pro boxing.
If UFC could take what UFC needs to take one thing and drop one thing from boxing. This 10-point scoring card we got is bullshit. It shouldn't be a 10-point scoring card. We're not boxing. We're using hands, feet, kicking, and fucking elbows. There's nothing about 10 points there. And then this other thing that bugs me the fuck out is we need to switch off on weight classes. We need to, like, the boxing has a 50 million weight classes and shit. You'll have a boxer that has titles in 5 different weight classes and shit.
Divisions,
like, wow, See, UFC, if they had that, the fights would be so much more even.
Yeah.
If they had more weight classes, we would have more championships.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
So right now, how many weight classes in there right now for UFC?
My nigga, 125. Oh, well, if I'm gonna go male, I think it's 135, 145, 155, 170, 185, 205, and heavyweight. 7.
Fly, middle, welter.
7 in male. And female might have 1 extra one.
Yeah, because they got a straw
female
weight.
don't have heavyweight.
Yeah,
female don't have the big bitches.
No, they got straw weight. Straw weight is like, you know.
Well, the issue, it sounds like with UFC, like every individual weight class is like almost 15 pounds. It sounds like. See, with boxing, it's like almost damn near like every like 5 to 8 pounds. You know, again, yeah. After like 160, then it's like 8 to 7 pounds every other weight class. But other than that, it's like 5 pounds.
Yeah, I remember when UFC first started, they didn't have a weight class, bro. They used to throw people
those were the best days.
Yo, they used to throw a dude like
have like Butterbean fight a McGregor.
I used to see dudes that used to be John's height fight guys that the size of my daughter, bro. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is like 93, 94. Like, that's there was no advantage. Like, of course John is gonna beat a 2-year-old, you know what I mean? Like,
yo, I don't know. There's some sick 2-year-olds out there. I don't know what's that.
Now there is definitely.
Yo, one fight that they took off the card was the Cody fight. Cody got hurt or some shit like that. He got an undisclosed injury, so he's not fighting. He's not fighting Mario Batista. I read that earlier.
Yeah, but you know what's see, Cody Garbrandt is another one, like 13-5, but he's chinny. He's too chinny, and then he bounces between that 135, 145 weight class. Yeah. Find a home, pick it. You know what I mean? Like I look, I fuck with Cody Garbrandt. I seen how it's come up. What he did with TJ. Good fights, but nowadays these people want to get into firefights, and I think they're too old for the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they're too old for the game. Like even what 12-2, 13-5. I kind of think that if Kobe don't come out and stop the fight in the first round,
but Cody's not fighting. He's not fighting. That's what I'm saying. He hurt. He got an undisclosed injury, so he's not fighting Mario Batista at all.
What about Pedro Munoz and Marlon Vera?
You know what? I love Marlon Vera, son. I don't know about you, but I fucks with Marlon Vera heavy. Like, I like his fighting style.
Yeah, but he choked last time against Sam.
He did. You're right. But he
really choked though.
But what,
he choked so badly that I don't. There was something like, I don't know. He kind of, as a fan, pissed me off with that. He's always on his poise. He's been on his shit. He grew that fucking beard out. He looks like a drug dealer. And then you know, like, you don't come up and show up. You showed up at the last 4 or 5 fights.
That motherfuckers, niggas are all big. Everybody with all big beards look like drug dealers. Ed, me, and G look like drug dealers now. All right. Point taken.
Listen.
Nah, G definitely got the fucking drug
dealer beard. I think it's just yo, G just be like this. Oh, you want a dime? Here you go.
I keep my shit short because of my job. My job would be like, oh, make sure you keep your beard short. If not, I would have had a beard just like G.
I already said, yo, that logo looks like y'all two related.
Word, right?
Yo, Sean O'Malley, you know, his only loss is to Marlon Vera.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was that
leg. Yep.
That was when he broke his leg and they stopped the fight.
What you thought about that fight though? Before he broke his leg, who you thought had the advantage in that fight? Who you honestly thought was gonna win that fight?
Marlon Vera was beating him up.
There you go.
Marlon Vera was beating him up. But that's the problem with O'Malley though. O'Malley's not out till he's out. O'Malley got hands. You saw it with Piotr Jan. In that third round, in that second round, O'Malley got hands. It's that he gets a little cocky in his fighting.
Yes. Yes.
But now that he's faced higher competition, I think that he's humbled himself a little bit, and I think that'll give him his advantage against Sterling.
Yes.
You know, you have to humble yourself in there. The problem is when you look like Marlon Vera in the last fight against Sandhagen, I don't have a lot of faith with when you're facing Pedro Munoz, because Pedro Munoz is hot right now.
Yeah, he's hot. He's hot right now.
Even with 7 losses, he's hot right now. Like he's moving. So how you gonna?
That's
if you're not coming ready to fight, that might be fight of the night though.
Yeah, I agree too. I concur. 100%.
I think that might honestly be better than the main event. Because,
that's gonna steal the show. Yep.
Yeah, Aljamain Sterling is just gonna fucking take him down. You know, he's gonna wrestle him.
Yeah.
Me and Cash gonna watch that shit in VA.
You saw the card for UFC 293. Main event is Adesanya versus Strickland. Sean Strickland.
Yeah, we'll cross those roads when he gets there because I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, you think they're gonna cancel that fight?
I think something. I don't know. I don't really have faith in that fight right now. It took a lot of. It took too long for the contract to get signed. 1, 2. You got chosen. You got chosen because there's nobody else for me. Why didn't Adesanya?
I didn't hear that.
Sean Strickland.
I wonder why. What?
What you said, Q? My fault.
No, who's fighting? So it's Sean Strickland.
The next pay-per-view.
Is he fighting? There's no. You know why? Because there's nobody else to fight.
Yeah.
Whitaker just lost. Why are you running from Duplessis? Why? That's why I don't think the fight's gonna happen though, because I don't know. Strickland, he comes to every fight.
Yeah, and Strickland be talking his shit. I was telling the fellas.
Nobody wants to see it.
Talking shit.
Nobody wants to see it. Strickland. He just won a fight, right? Then he just won. Yeah, he just won his last fight. But before that, he won against Cannonier his last fight.
Yeah.
But before that, he had lost against somebody. He had lost against Piera.
Yes.
Piera knocked him the fuck out with a left hand. And look what Izzy just did to Piera. So now you're gonna go put Izzy against the number 5 ranked guy that lost to the guy that Izzy just beat off of a whim. You know, let's call a spade a spade. The same way Izzy beat Whitaker, the same way Izzy beats people, the bigger people or the harder fights. Izzy gets into the firefight, he gets into the phone booth, and he lets those hands fly.
Hell yeah.
You know what that is for me though? For me, honestly, that's not technique. That is my punch getting there before your punch got here.
Yes, great counter puncher. Izzy's a great counter puncher.
There's a big difference when you see. All right, look, not to crossbreed, but Anthony Joshua, what he just did in those 6 rounds over the weekend, he downloaded the content. As he downloaded the content, he produced the program, and the way he laid that punch that he laid wasn't even like straight clean. It's just what it needed it to be. But he wasn't out of composure laying that punch. Put a punch where it needed to be. It slightly connected on the temple.
Yes.
When I witness you Izzy in the firefight, nigga, you lucky.
Yes.
You getting lucky. Your little skinny arms are getting through before their arms are getting you. You know, that's just my opinion of it.
Yeah.
No, you're right though.
See, Strickland. Though I don't think Strickland has a chance unless Strickland. Because he stands too straight up. He looks like a washboard. Like,
yeah.
The
thing I just love about Strickland is that the shit talk. My man be talking his shit while he fighting with you. He be like, "Yo, good punch, take this." He just be talking his shit. That's what I love. Not that he's one of my favorite fighters. I just like that aspect of his fighting game.
If he can, hands of stone. Fucking Sugar Ray this thing and get inside Izzy's head. You know what I mean? If he can really get inside Izzy's head, talk about his father, talk about how his father went to jail, how he was a fraud, get in his head, talking about you ain't the king of Africa, talking about if he can get in his head and talk hella shit to him and say there's a reason why you've been ducking me and don't want to fight me, you know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna fuck you up. If he can get in Izzy's head and really get Izzy all fucked up mentally, then he has a chance to actually stand a chance. But honestly, the skill levels are totally different, and that's why he don't want to fight Duplessis, because Duplessis, like I said, Duplessis has more he has more technique, has more hunger, and any smart champion never wants to fight a guy on the rise. You want to let the guy ice a little bit, get another fight, get older. Look at Pacquiao and Mayweather, right? You want to hate the fighter. You don't want to take him now. He's hot. So let me get
wait him out.
Strickland took a loss last time against the guy I beat. I feel more confident fighting him. I fuck with him, but he's just a smart fighter. He picks who he fights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Uncle Dana signs off on that because Izzy at the end of the day is a champion that brings viewers.
Yep. He puts butts in that seats. He puts asses to the seats. Yep.
Izzy's all right though. He's an all right guy. He's not. I still miss the good old days. I still miss the good old days of fucking a Conor McGregor or a Masvidal. That would have been a good fight. You know what I mean? Like I would have liked Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. You know, like.
I got a question for you. I'm sorry to cut you off, my brother. I got a question.
John Jones and Stipe. Look.
Oh my God.